My music to Christ, it kind of fallen away. Just didn't have God as a priority in my life for a few years, and just felt God tugging on my heart, just pulling me home. And I just thought one night, I've always loved nature and stuff like that, and always been intrigued by any sort of like stars and all that. And it's funny now that I've written this song, every time I'm around people and the stars are out, people are like, "Hey, Chris, Starry night." I'm like, "Good one." Like, tricks on you, I actually love it. I own a telescope. That's just because my record label bought me one. And that's just the truth. But I do, and so I just was thinking about, how it's crazy that the God who literally created everything, for some reason had the grace enough to just call me back home and want to love me and love you. And it blows my mind, because when you think about God, there's really like, when you're young and you learn, you go, I went to Sunday school only a couple times when I was a kid, but I remember going and you had those like felt boards that had like, Noah's Ark on them. Those felt boards were awesome. I think we should bring them back. Like, forget PowerPoint. Just if you showed up to a business meeting with a felt board and a pie chart on that thing, I would be like, "You are hired, sir. You are awesome. You're gonna bring a felt board into this meeting." And that's the thing. And that's the moral of tonight's story. I lost it. No. And so I remember these felt boards, and I could remember, learning about Noah's Ark, and okay, yeah, and then how God's everywhere, and it's like, okay, yeah, and you're a kid, so you just kind of learn it, and it almost loses its significance because you're just young and you kind of believe everything, which is sometimes good and sometimes not good. So it's like, oh, that's just normal. God's everywhere, and then you grow up and you're like, that is crazy. Like that. That is kind of crazy, and it blows my mind every day. And I was driving thinking about it and thinking about God's grace and how even, because He's everywhere, even when we run from Him, we're actually running to Him naturally because He's everywhere. And I think that's the beauty of how, God's grace works, that even in the midst of our sins, that's when Christ died for us. And I just, I'm thankful for that. And so that's what I just felt pulling me back home. And I love that I got to write this song, and it still shocks me every day when when people tell me stories, how it's encouraging them. I love it. It encourages me. So I'm just going to sing the song now. It's a song called Starry Night. From the birds that sing in the tallest trees, to the human life of you and me, from the desert sands to the place we stand, He is God of all, He is everything. Oh, I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was His design. I'm giving my life to the only Son who was and is and yet to come. Let the praises ring, 'cause He is everything. He is everything. Oh. From the autumn leaves that will ride the breeze, to the faith it takes to pray and see, from the painted sky, into my plague-filled eye, He is God of all. Yes, He is everything. Every starry night, that was His design. I'm giving my life to the only Son who was and is and yet to come. Let the praises ring, 'cause He is everything. when it's all good. That's why I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. On that starry night, it changed my life. I'm giving it all to the only son who gave me hope when I had none. So let the praises ring. Oh, let the praises ring. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was his design. And I'm giving my life to the only son who was and is and yet to come. And the angels sing that he is heavenly. Oh, so let the praises ring, 'cause he is everything. Thank y'all so much.